are watching Code with Heather. Welcome to 10th episode of Jira tutorial series. In the last episode, we learned about roadmaps and epics, which represents big goals or features. Now we are moving one level deeper into stories. We will understand what a story is, why it is used. We will estimate the story points of a story, and then how to organize stories under the right epic. I will show you practically how to link or move stories and child issues in Jira. So what is a story in Jira? Oops, wait a minute. Yeah. A story represents specific feature or functionality a user needs. It's a small deliverable piece of work that contributes to an epic. For example, your user authentication is an epic because it's like a whole module in which there will be sign up, login, front end, back end, and everything. So your epic is a user authentication, a whole module of user authentication. But what is a story? Your story is mostly linked with an epic. It's not necessary, but for 95% cases, you will see that every story is connected to an epic. So in this case of user authentication epic, as a user, I want to log in with my email and password. So you can create a story of it. In Agile, a story describes what the user wants, not just a task. It's usually written from the user points of view. Why do we need stories? Using stories, we can break down large epics into smaller, actionable items. Stories keeps the focus on user needs. It makes more easier to plan and estimate, and it also allows parallel development among team members. It also helps track progress clearly. So without stories, an epic is not too big and beg you to manage. By splitting it means by splitting an epic into stories, each team member can work independently on smaller goals. Because you can like think epic of an like an big project, and you have a smaller pieces of work as stories here. It's like dividing like a big project into smaller clear steps, which increases efficiency and visibility. What are story points? Story points are a way to measure the effort needed to complete a story. They don't represent odds, instead, they estimate complexity, time, and risk combined. So, on common scale, it's like from 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. These story points are not time, they represent relative effort. For example, uh, on common scale, 1 point means that it's a very simple task. 3 points will represent as medium complexity. 8 will represent as a hard or time consuming. So this is how it works. Teams use story points to plan sprints. For instance, if your team can complete 30 points per sprint, you know your average velocity. This helps plan future work realistically. So what's next? Linking a story with an epic. So this is the practical part now. Let's get back to Jira dashboard. On this dashboard in backlog option, you can see we have uh, the points of like creating sprints. You can create sprint from here, but inside a sprint, like it's already Scrum sprint one. In this sprint, you can see here, you can create more things like from this drop down, if you hover on it, it shows story. You can create multiple things in it, like you can create a feature, you can create a task, you can create a bug, you can create a request inside a sprint. There is an other way. In the last episode, we were talking about sprints, sorry, epics. So in the roadmap, epics are created here. Here is an epic. If we click on an epic, it shows us an option of sprint here. You can directly link a sprint with an epic here. But for now, as we are discussing the story, so uh, we will create a story here. For example, I will create, as we have discussed that Um, our epics are like a big project or the main modules, and stories are a smaller parts of it. So I want to create a story that will be linked with this epic. So this epic is authentication for project. So as we have discussed that this is what story is what a client needs for the authentication purpose for password. I just want the team to uh, restrict the password to 10 characters. Okay. So I will simply type it here, restrict user password to 10 characters. Okay. So this is a story. I will click it and I will simply click on create. So story is created here, and if I click on it, it will simply, yeah, here it is. Inside this, as you can see, this is a similar uh, details page like we saw in the epic, but something is different here. Let me show you. Description is same. You can add subtasks here. For example, if my need is that restrict user password to 10 characters, so in more like we can create subtasks, use one alphabet or two alphabets or numeric characters. As per your needs, you can create further subtask from here. Connected work items, you can create it. We will discuss in the upcoming videos because for now it is not necessary to discuss it. From here, as you can see, it's a sprint on the uh, top. It's a my Scrum project, and here it is showing add epic. Like we have discussed that each story or sprint must be linked to an epic. Not must be linked, but in about 95% cases, you will face the similar scenario in which the story will be linked to an epic. So simply click on it. It will show you list of epics that are already created. Simply click on it, and as you can see, your parent is here for this story is this epic. Let's navigate to the epic screen. Click on reload, and from here, this backlog. And as you can see, click on it. You can see this story inside this epic. So it represents here. You can see child work items, and this story is showing over here. This approach helps us to like make things more transparent and more clear to the developers, to the manager, and to the QA team. If we go to this screen in the backlog, let me show you. As you can see here, it is showing. Now, if you want to change, like it's mentioned in the last, how to move a story from one epic to another. You can simply link another. You can remove from here, and you can add another parent over here. So I think you have a knowledge of timeline. This timeline is roadmap. As we have discussed that with the passage of time, websites and apps gets latest updates, their UI gets updated. So in the last update, it was roadmap, but now they changed it to the timeline. So timeline is the roadmap. Inside it, we created an epic in the last episode. I think you have a knowledge of timeline and epic now. Then in this video, we discussed about story. In the backlog, we created a story and then we linked a story with an epic. So that is it for this episode. And if you are liking this series and you are learning from it, please show some support, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Take care. Bye.